Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, and distinguished guests and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today to discuss this topic. But before that, let me just introduce myself. My name is Saeed Al Saeed. I have been working with Saudi Aramco for more than 23 years. In the past year, I joined Cyberani as the Chief Executive Officer. Cyberani is a joint venture between Saudi Aramco and Raytheon's Technology, specialized in cybersecurity services, including managed services and products and consulting and what have you. It is also, Cyberani is a leader in operation and technology cybersecurity or industrial cybersecurity, where we leverage our depth and relationships with Saudi Aramco to expand on cybersecurity and OT cybersecurity knowledge. Today, I have a very special session for you, which is the Zero Trust, which is one of the many principles one can adopt. Given today's context of the ever-changing world, this principle embodies both theoretical and practical approaches to blend cybersecurity into our day-to-day business operations. As we all know, the concept of trust, or zero trust, came out a few years back. Naturally, during the initial stage, there was a lot of hype and excitement about it. Then came the practical side, where when Nest and others came up with a structured approach with a framework on zero trust, allowing us to take practical and pragmatic approaches. Ultimately, zero trust is a paradigm shift that we need to embrace, adapt, and make it work in our cybersecurity DNA. Nowadays, we are living in a world whereby cybersecurity incidents are on the rise. Today, I want to draw your attention to the critical importance of enforcing cybersecurity measures in the light of the rapid increasing number and cost of cyber attacks. It's no secret that the global landscape is witnessing an alarming surge, with estimates suggesting overwhelming 8,000 to 10,000 attacks per second. Moreover, the financial ramifications of these attacks are extensive, often burdening organizations for an average duration of 3 years per incident. This underscores the significance and the lasting impact that cyber attacks can have on businesses and institutions alike. What's practically concerning is the evolving nature of these attacks. We are observing a notable shift in focus from independent hackers to state-sponsored threat actors who are increasingly targeting national critical infrastructure. Their primary aim is to hold breach entities hostage, exploiting vulnerabilities for financial gain. For example, we have just heard the Australian ports operated by DP World suffered a massive cybersecurity attack, which brought brought their port operations to a halt. And in fact, it will take them several weeks to bring the port operations up to normal levels. As we all set our sights on the future, it's imperative to acknowledge the significance and importance of an international prominence gained by Saudi Arabia and the wider region. Hosting prestigious events such as the upcoming Asian Winter Olympics, World Cup, and the other events signifies tremendous opportunities. On the other hand, it's vital for us to recognize that with increased prominence comes an elevated risk of being targeted by hackers. With the convergence of IT/OT networks, the attack surface is growing exponentially. Not only with the traditional data loss concerns, but now, as we mentioned earlier, with the added ingredients of health, safety, and environment, that becomes even worse. Supply chain, on the other hand, supply chain integration elevates the need for increased due diligence on our partners by the very nature of the sensitive data and the critical transactions undertaken by our third parties. Regulation is driving security through mandatory requirements, combined with the commercial consequences of non-compliance. The traditional security wall is now superseded by security agility and DevOps, the concept of shortening and improving the system development lifecycle. Dispersed workspace requirements mean that the containers of workplace and social lives are becoming increasingly mixed, which brings unique challenge to cybersecurity today. Given the elevated cybersecurity risk and the increasing cost of cyber breaches, we need to look at cybersecurity from different lenses and adopting different approaches. Zero trust is one of those approaches, and we need to consider 4 key domains. Empowered governance, human capital focus, renewed focus on IoT and OT strategy, and adoption of emerging technologies. Now, zero trust is a framework and in principle to assume a breach and treat all users and systems untrusted. To protect critical assets, we need consistent verification, detection, and response capabilities. Listed on the right are simplified 4 key actions within the boundary of a system to start the journey of zero trust implementation. The first of the 4 domains we mentioned to consider is empowered governance. By encouraging government and business coordination and collaboration, this will help to safeguard the critical infrastructure. Various shareholders, including government entities, regulatory bodies, companies, and other relevant parties, would need to engage in coordinated efforts to address cybersecurity challenges by eliminating silos and enhancing communication and creating a platform for information sharing. The government can respond more effectively to the growing threat landscape. For example, in case A, we have a number of government authorities, such as the National Cybersecurity Authority and the Saudi Federation for Cybersecurity Programming and Drones, all what was in place to enhance and improve integration and resilience, where we need to make sure that the zero trust, what I meant, the government authorities that will help to orchestrate and tackling most challenging cybersecurity issues that government and businesses are facing. On the other side, supply chain and its security related to third parties across the supply chain need to be assessed with the lens of zero trust principle. As we look into the supply chain, integration and resilience, we need to make sure that the zero trust is built in. We also need to make sure that we don't leave behind our SMEs, who are actually the live front line of a distributed economy. For global collaboration, we need to protect our collaboratively or collectively from any state-sponsored and other type of advanced attacks. Zero trust principles can significantly help to increase protection and enhance the cybersecurity posture of organizations and critical national infrastructure. We can further enhance our protection through global collaboration and information sharing. Like other major initiatives, we would like to see zero trust related projects are incentivized to get off the ground. And in many cases, this would need be put in place well ahead of any immediate expected benefit. The second domain I'm coming today is to consider the human capital. And it is at the center of making zero trust happen. We need to continue to enhance our people capability through training and development. It's well documented that after a training, people effectiveness and protecting oneself increases dramatically. With respect to zero trust, we need to train our people so that they can understand and appreciate the basic concept and the approach of zero trust. As zero trust is a new paradigm. So we require mind shift and change to be vigilant all the times and not to take anything for granted when there is a doubt. In addition, companies can reach out to a wider range of ecosystem. For example, universities, government-funded programs such as TWEC Academy or training provide third parties to provide the required training on zero trust approaches. The third domain to consider is the IoT and OT strategy. In fact, the number of cybersecurity threats in IoT and OT have been on the rise, and the recent times have skyrocketed. Implementing a zero trust in IT environment is a long journey. Furthermore, to implement zero trust in the OT environment is even longer one. The challenge gets even harder. As we know, traditionally, OT systems have not been designed with security in mind. For example, typical cybersecurity management processes such as asset management and vulnerability management are not usually implemented in an IT environment. To develop an effective IoT and OT cybersecurity strategy, the journey can start with adopting structural governance framework and progress step by step from conducting an asset inventory exercises to risk identification to building the right governance model linking to zero trust principle. The fourth and last domain is emerging technologies. Throughout the history, as we know, adopting a new technology has been at the forefront of our human development. Yet, in today's converged world, the cybersecurity and the safety of such adoption is more important than ever. Each technological evolution brings its unique challenges and risks to be considered and managed. Adopting zero trust principle is challenging given the numerous number of emerging technologies leveraged by organizations. Technologies like cloud poses the biggest risk while offering significant benefits to business efficiency. On the other hand, emerging technologies could be leveraged to improve cybersecurity posture. For example, AI today is well used for threat detection. Quantum computing, on the other hand, has the promise to deliver digital transformation opportunities, while it poses significant cybersecurity implications. Thus, one gets into double-edged sword situation. To sum it up, we can aspire to adopt zero trust principle as businesses, organizations, and industry at large. It will be a long journey. It will require the principles and the elements to work together, reinforcing each other to bring out practical and a pragmatic outcome. Upon leveraging the forementioned elements, the journey of implementing zero trust principle begins with simple actions. Craft the right governance framework with zero trust in mind. Then promote zero trust culture. Build zero trust in architecting IoT and OT infrastructure and environment. Assess the sustainability and impact of emerging technologies. My call for the action is, let's us all collectively work towards secure presence and the future. Thank you for listening.